Hello, everybody. We're back. How's everybody doing? Welcome
We're
to the
back.
Secret Chronicles Paranormal Historians, where history meets the paranormal. And we're here. So, we're going to have a good night tonight. We have a great guest. And
Are you kidding me? We have a great guest. We have a great night. And it's a big night because it's which episode, Anthony?
number 50. This is our 50th episode. This is awesome. We made 50. Look at that.
50th episode.
We made 50th anniversary and we didn't have a fight. See that?
Nope,
No fights yet.
never.
But
Never.
yeah, we had a good run so far.
Sure
We had a
have.
lot of great guests. We had a lot, oh man, a lot of great guests. I mean, we're continuing with tonight. With our guests, I'll let you announce who we have. But
Yeah.
Jenny,
How was your
did you
weekend?
go investigating this weekend? Because I know
I did not, but I will
didn't.
tell you, I did an evidence review desperately needed. Like I
Did you?
had stacks of evidence review, and I finally got to a lot of it. So pretty much my eyes are like this at this point, like holding them open. Um, but this weekend we have an investigation, Anthony.
Yes, we do. You want
I
to
have an
tell everybody
investigation
what
with
it is?
this guy.
Yeah, we're gonna this outdoor investigation. Well,
Yes,
it's
we do.
more what we're doing is we are investigating, but we're gonna be it's gonna be a tour. We're gonna have a bunch of people joining us, guests, and they're gonna investigate with us, which I think it's always awesome
Yep.
to with people that we have, you know, that's interested with us, that likes us for some reason. I don't know why. So
Yeah.
I think we should just, before we get silly here with all the talk, let's invite, like always
Yeah, no,
do.
exactly. It'll be fun. We have it'll be at
I
a
want,
Gothic 1850s mansion, but outside of it, and a farm. So we're going to be investigating with the sheep and the cows. It's going to be really fascinating. And yes, probably we will go live, Adam. So
you know what we should do? Strap a video camera on one of the sheep or the cow and let them walk
oh my
around
gosh,
like a cow cam.
I love it.
We have
I
a
love
cow
it. I'll be
cam or a sheep
listening.
cam. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
We'll be like, not moo, boo.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how stupid. All
Anybody
right.
here come across a deceased cow that became a hamburger or
Oh my
something?
gosh. That's terrible. The
I think
ghost of
that's
a cow.
delicious. I know
Right.
you vegetarians don't like that, but
Oh yeah. Yeah.
you,
I don't eat cows.
you don't eat cows. You don't eat anything with a
As
face.
Anthony says, I eat grass.
You're
Anthony thinks I
grass
only eat
eater.
grass.
Grass eater.
So how was your weekend?
So what happened here? Oh,
You good?
my weekend was good. I had my grandson. I had
Nice.
him all weekend. You know what I bought him? I bought him one of these, the cars that they sit in. The kid,
Yes.
it's a Mustang. It's a Mustang Cobra. But the best
Nice.
part about it, there's a remote control. I can sit there, sit him in the car, and drive him around everywhere.
Oh my God.
I drive him around the house, the park, and everything. I can just sit in the chair and play with them, and not have to get up. And he loves it.
Wait,
Has a radio
what
on it and everything, so it's pretty cool.
what kind of car is it? Is it like a Jeep?
Refresh it. Still don't see the show.
No, they see the show. He meant live. We're gonna go live. We're gonna go live from the investigation. That's what we're talking
Oh,
about.
okay. So
Everybody's good. Everybody's
yeah,
here.
I see the show.
Hi
I got it right
everybody.
next to me here.
Hi
So
everyone in the chat. And people are still coming in. It's
that's
early.
awesome. That's awesome. Well, I mean, let's invite the guest in. Let's bring
Okay.
the guest in. I think, uh, you know, I'm looking forward to talk to her.
I know. I can't wait. And she doesn't do
Okay,
a lot of podcasts, as she just told us. So we feel super special having her on our 50th, and we're going to have a good time talking to her tonight.
this is gonna be awesome.
So it might take me a few minutes to introduce her with everything she does. I do follow her pretty closely, but then when I looked up, all the things that she is, I was like, wow. when you see it written down, it's a lot. So get ready to be impressed out of your minds, people. Tonight we have a woman who is a prolific author. She is a psychic medium, a shamanic medium, a shaman. She's a professional shaman. She's an occultist, a folk healer, a spiritual advisor, an aura artist with multiple forms of synesthesia, and a reader. And she is the godfather of magic. Please welcome the Blue Bodhi.
Godmother, no?
Godmother, excuse me. Did I say godfather?
Godfather. That's the royal. I don't know.
Godmother, sorry.
The Godfather.
You don't understand.
Hey,
with him, we say Godfather all the time.
You put your ring out. We got to kiss your ring.
Muscle memory. Sorry.
Hey.
Oh, wait, this one? Which one do you want to kiss?
We got to kiss the ring now.
Oh my God, we talk about it all the time with him. Hi, welcome.
That was a wonderful, nice little introduction. I was like, wow, that sounds important.
You're a lot. You're a lot, and not just an author. Like hundreds of things you've written. So,
yeah, I credit having a broken brain for that, but I always wanted to be an author from the time I was a kid, and my first big girl job out of college was actually for a Christian publishing company, and
no way.
It turned into a very, very interesting career. I get obsessively creative, and the last book that I published was during COVID. I actually wrote 4 books during COVID. So altogether, I have written or ghostwritten 204 books since 1996.
Well, Jenny, you got to get some books.
I'm a reader. You're a writer. I'm a reader. So yeah.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So tell everybody where you are, because we have people all over the country and sometimes even in England and watching. So I always forget to do that. And then we start talking and like, we know where you are.
So I live in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I mentioned it. I texted Anthony earlier and was like, we have some gnarly weather this evening. So if I kind of cut in and out, like the one time I do a podcast this year and we have a tornado watch going on right now. This is
oh boy, really?
Dumb. This is dumb. Mm-hmm.
Is that common though there?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
my best friend, the one that does all the stuff with me, the paranormal stuff, she came down one April and it was just tornado siren after tornado siren after tornado siren. Wow. She was like, how do you live like this? And I'm like, I mean, you kind of get used to it, but you don't at the same time. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the stress level, I would just have stress.
Hey, Jenny, you can't ride your bicycle over there. It'd be like,
yeah, you'd be up in the tornado.
Basket in front and a kitten.
And I don't weigh a whole lot. So yeah, I'd be like, phew.
Oh, yeah, you'd be gone.
Yeah, I'd be gone. I got to eat more.
I mean, we do have some pretty good farm to table restaurants down here. I'm just saying there's that. So
we have we should tell you from the beginning that we have a little drinking game on our show. Even we drink water, but still every time we say cannoli, which is Anthony's favorite food, we take a sip.
Cannoli.
So if you wonder why we say cannoli and we're all doing this and everybody in the audience is doing that, that's why.
Don't hate me, but I have never had a cannoli. It's on my list. What? I just had pierogies for the first time this summer, and I am obsessed with them. I'm obsessed with just put them in my face. Just put them in my face.
Well, I'm a vegetarian, so I love those so much. They're like satisfying. We had Shauna last week on our show, and she's here to say hi.
You haven't had a cannoli? Oh, we got to fix that next time you see me.
Yeah,
I've been kind of worried because some people are like, "Oh, you got to have them from the right place." Well, where's the right place? Like, tell me where the right place is so I can go to the right place.
In
New York, Queens, New York.
So again, I need to come to New York. All right, okay, well, all right, New York, I'm coming. I'm coming
to Chicago.
Do what?
Chicago.
The only time I've ever
Really?
got to go to Chicago was for an event, and it was like go get there, set up, and then go home. Like I didn't get to
I know
visit.
there's a bunch of paisans there. You got to go place where there's little paisans.
I was
did
going to
have
say,
some
this we're back to the
pizza.
Godfather stuff here.
What?
We're
Hey.
like Al Capone again. Road trip.
Leave
Sean
the
is
gun,
right.
take the cannolis.
So if you ever
Yeah.
come down
Yeah,
this way,
China, show road trip. We were gonna go.
Yeah.
speaking of Al Capone, if you ever come down this way, in Hot Springs, Arkansas, is an amazing place called the Arlington Hotel.
Yeah.
Insane paranormal place.
Mhm.
It's worth it to rent the Capone suite. I'm just gonna say we did an overnight investigation there. So much interaction. I mean, it was worth it.
Ooh.
Yeah, we
I'm
gotta
writing
do a
it down.
trip going from like one mobster location to the next mobster location. I think that'd be cool.
Now that would be a good book. Mobster
Maybe.
Paranormal.
You know what
I
I mean?
mean,
I got a bunch of them buried over here. You know, Lucky Luciano.
Yes, you do.
Gallo. We got all of them.
In Queens.
Oh,
we could
that's
start
what
in
we'll do.
Queens and go all the way out to Arkansas. Arkansas,
Yeah.
you said?
mhm.
Yeah.
And in the bottom of the hotel, like it's huge, grand hotel. And if you stay in the Capone suite, you can actually see across the street to the speakeasy. In the closet, there's a shaft and a tunnel where they would go down to get to get out of the speakeasy really easy. But you know what I'm just going to say easy repeatedly. But you can go downstairs and actually get a full bath in the hot springs, like a full service bath.
Wow.
It's still almost all original down there and 100% worth it.
We call that a
100%
spritz.
worth it.
You go for a spritz. It's not bad.
Yep.
It's spritz.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to get in spritz.
It's worth it. It's worth it. But in the when we went and stayed in the suite, it's weird. It's weird how it's laid out, but we when you walk in, there's a hallway, bedroom, like kind of the whole front of the windows in the corner. And some rooms have the door, you can go into another room. And
Yeah.
we got there, we were like, I'm a Capricorn and I get hangry. And so my friend Sass is a Taurus. And so we're both like, we need food before we're jerks, So we throw our stuff down and we're going to leave. And we hear these ladies next door. And I'm like, oh my God, like we're supposed to have an investigation. They told us nobody was there. Like these bitches is being loud. Like what the, like it sounded like a bachelorette party. And I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, so I go downstairs and I just tell the lady, I'm like, hey, is there someone in the room next to us? Because like, it's kind of loud. And the girl looks and she's like, no, there's no one in there. And I look at Sass and I'm like, we came back up after dinner. And we were, we're just going to nerd around the hotel and film and so on. All of a sudden, like we're going out the door and my friend starts pushing me down the hallway and leaving. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? She was like, those are your friends. You go get them. The door to the other room was open. Both doors were open and no one's in the room next to us. And we hadn't been in our room. Both doors were open. And you can only open those doors from that room.
From the other side, because otherwise someone could barge in on you. Yes.
And I've stayed in that hotel. It's my favorite place to stay in Hot Springs. It's really, really reasonable. We've been in other rooms where the faucets come on just full blast all of a sudden. I've walked around the hotel on a live stream of all things. And we were got right off the elevator. We're on a floor, there's rooms everywhere. And I'm like, oh, we're being loud. Like we should be kind of quiet. And I turn around and I see a man go from the door. The elevator opens. He gets in the elevator. And I'm like, okay, well, we should probably go back down because it's 10:30. I don't want to disturb anybody. And I'm like, okay, well, let me not be an ass and hit the button as the dude's waiting. So we wait a minute and I open the door. That same elevator opens and there's no one in the elevator. And I turned around to the kid who was holding the camera. He's white. Right. I was like, oh, you saw the man, but you could not have convinced me that was a spirit. Full-fledged man walk across, dark hair, white shirt, slacks. Like he looked like he was going down to the bar.
Oh,
but
wow.
I got excited. The kid that was with me was a friend of mine's son, and he was filming for me. He was like, can we go back to the room? I was like,
yeah. He didn't expect that.
No,
exactly.
No, he didn't expect that. So it's a phenomenal place to stay. It's a phenomenal place
That's
to stay.
that's crazy. And you know, people who watch this know my only ghost story, my only ever apparition that I've seen was the same thing. Walked into an elevator, nobody in the elevator. Elevator didn't move, no one in the elevator. Is that crazy? We have something in
That is
common
crazy.
already. I love it. And I'm a Cancer, so I'll feed you. I saw your TikTok about that. She was doing ghosts and different different signs of ghosts. And I'm like, the Cancer was like, I brought you extra food. That's
I
me,
had
the mom.
experience with
Am I
that
the mom or what?
in Vegas in one of the when I was there on my honeymoon years ago, 1986. It was the MGM, and
Wait, what?
my
96.
that's now my ex, 1986,
Oh, 86, your ex. I gotcha.
my ex, and that's my wife, my ex-wife. But we're there. It was a honeymoon, and I couldn't sleep. I was in Vegas. I wanted to go downstairs and do stuff. She slept, so I went downstairs. I was getting on the elevator to go up. Guy got on the elevator with me. We went up. I didn't say nothing. Got off. I got off the elevator and turned. He was gone.
That's what happened to me. That's
He came up
exactly
in
what
the
happened to
elevator,
me.
standing next to me as I get
Yep,
off the
he walked
elevator.
past
And I went to just say good night.
Gone.
What happened? Yeah,
Now,
that was
now I'm
crazy.
wondering if elevators
Elevators are
have some
fun.
kind of magic.
I noticed somebody said, I wonder if elevators are
Yeah.
portals. I mean, if you think about it, we consider a door a portal, and an elevator will go up and down, different. It's not so much atmospheric, but it's going up and down different levels of air and so on. Like they have to be portals.
I feel like an elevator is like staircase. I like staircase,
Oh.
is one of the main things in a house. People have to go up and down, and everybody uses it. Everybody.
Yep.
An elevator is the same thing.
Yep.
If in a hotel, people going up and down. So how many people were in that elevator in just a week? Now you're going years, and from different emotions too, from happy to sad to maybe even suicidal because they lost all their money or whatever they did. But you don't know the amount. So I feel an elevator, it's like that stairs. Like, you always see the brown lady, the white lady, the purple lady. Every big house has some kind of something on the staircase. But I feel the stairs have the elevator probably has the same purpose. It's more modern than staircase, but
Oh, I would agree.
Same idea though.
Yeah, I feel it's basically the same idea. So so we're going to get into some questions now, and I know the question. I already asked you. How did you get into all this? Did you were you born into it? Did you gradually get into it later on? Do you notice your abilities at a young age, or as you get older, or
So I grew up with parents that loved haunted places. They got married in Eureka Springs. They used to we used to go to the Crescent Hotel a lot. So when I was little, we moved up to Colorado, and my very first paranormal place to go visit was the Stanley Hotel. It's a little hard. It's a little hard to top the Stanley, but
no, yeah.
I grew up going to ghost towns and places like the Stanley and places in Boulder and things like that. And so my parents loved this stuff. The Crescent Hotel was like the family pilgrimage every year. We had a cabin about 30 minutes north of there, and we were always in Eureka Springs and hearing the stories and exploring and all of that. So I learned to love the paranormal at a really, really young age.
That's awesome. That's
Like
awesome. They have
7.
parents that,
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome that your parents really were into it also.
Yeah. They, I had a really interesting childhood. Like I can't complain. I had a great childhood. I really can't complain about it. I mean, I had my first heartbreak at 9, I'm just kidding. But, my parents, like outside was church, so in the mountains we were in the mountains every weekend camping or doing crazy stuff. I've explored ghost towns up in the Rockies that probably people haven't been in I don't know, century, decades or whatever. So they were big on that, but big on safety as well. So I learned safety right off the bat. My dad we had code words, if dad said this word, we were not allowed to go in that building, or we always, long pants, good boots, like things, just physical safety stuff. And then I was taught to, knock on the side of a door before you go in, even if it's an abandoned building or just a door frame. You knock on the door, just politely, like, "Hi, how you doing?" And
that's
the biggest thing.
I love it.
Yeah, the biggest thing my dad and mom taught, my dad especially, was respect. Like, that's their place. It's been their place long before it was your place, and it will be their place long after it's your place. So respect, and so that's one thing I still try to make sure that everybody else around me does. I don't like to be around people that are disrespectful, of any entity, even if that entity is being a dick, you still don't got to be disrespectful. So
yeah. No, I'm a big with that. And I feel that the more positive and the more respect you give them, the more evidence and more stuff you get from them.
Exactly.
And that's how I feel big time. I mean, when I first got into all this, it was a long, long time ago. And you thought, like, if you threaten them, you get evidence. As I got more into it and stuff, you start realizing it. If somebody's going to come at me and say, "Hey, you get nasty with me," what do you think I'm going to do?
Yeah, you're going to get angry.
I'm going to go back at them with something negative, or just get away from me. You're not. If you go in with a more of a positive attitude, I notice things come to you more, or more respect, and that's how I feel. And plus I respect everything around you anyway. I'm a very big with respect on anything, people and everything else. So
yes.
Well, I tell people too, I'm like, if you guys don't think that spirits talk to each other the way people talk to each other, like you can get a reputation really quickly, for being a jerk in the paranormal. And it's really funny. Shauna, who you had on last week, we have talked about a couple of things. She's called me from a couple locations, like, dude, your name just came up like twice, and knowing that I was going to be at that location in a couple weeks or a month. I'm like, you're lying. And she'll have to tell you, because now I don't remember where they were, but I said, put me on live, like put me on the phone, put me on live. And so she did. And I said, just was like, ask who it is, if they know who you're talking to. And they flat out blew. It was okay then. So to me, that kind of solidified, like, just like we talk, like I'd be like, "Hey, Anthony, like this guy over here is a jerk. Like, don't investigate with him." Or this chick over here is awesome. She's real respectful. She knows her shit. I mean, they talk just like we talk. So, but then my next question was, why do you know who I am? Like, should I be worried? Like, why do you know who I
hear
am?
about me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's great. What'd you hear?
Yeah.
No, I'm sure it was all good.
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Because they I feel they do go amongst each other. How many places you could go, and you'll get evidence, and then somebody else walks in, they won't get nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
that's true.
And they do share. I believe maybe they probably do have some kind of communication amongst each other. So that's wild.
But if you think about it too, like, and anybody that either owns a paranormal location or goes into the same one repeatedly, and the spirits there recognize you, or you start to build a rapport with them, like, to me that signifies an intelligence there. They're like, oh, okay, like, we know Bodhi's respectful, we like her. Well, we don't like Joe over here, because when Joe comes in, we know he's gonna try to inflame everything, or or whatever. But
yell at us, or
I mean, like, when I go to the location that I bought in Pennsylvania, the first thing I do, I like to go before anybody else is there, because I mean, I'm a Capricorn and I'm territorial, so I'm like, let me mark my space, but I'll go in and I'll knock on the door and I'll be like, "Hi, church," like, I was taught to respect the building as much as the ghosts inside, as the spirits inside. So I say hi to the church first, to the building first, and then I go through, and there's a couple of spirits that we have names of, and so I'll go and say, hi to those spirits, and how are you doing? What kind of music can I play for you today? Things like that. And I mean, they respond to that. They respond to that. So that to me also signifies an intelligence.
I want
Oh,
to show
sure.
something on what I showed you before, so everybody in the audience knows.
No, we talking about what we're talking about.
Did you ever read that, people?
I bought a 100-year-old church.
Oh, wow.
You believe that this is? She bought a 100-year-old church.
I mean,
Okay.
not everyone, that's something you don't hear every day. That wasn't on my bingo card, you know?
No, that was
What,
awesome.
so how did that come about? Like, where did that start? And in Pennsylvania?
Mm-hmm. So I have a couple friends in the paranormal community, and I'm friends with Santiago Cirillo, and he was like, "Hey, I'm filming a TV show up here. I would love to have you come up here and film an episode." And I'm like, "Sweet! Like I've never been to Pennsylvania. Like let's go, man. You know."
Mhm.
So I got invited to go to Hell House and film a TV episode there,
Mhm.
and like I'm legit mad at all of you people that live in the Northeast that did not tell me how pretty it is up there. And I'm like, this is gorgeous. Like this is phenomenally gorgeous. And
Mhm.
I was born in Oklahoma. I've lived here most of my life, but I grew up in Colorado. And so I was like, Pennsylvania is the best of both of those things. Like it's mountains and it's crazy amounts of lakes and it's trees and it's farms and it's literally everything that I love about both places. So I was like, okay, well, I really love it up here. And then I met Shauna and Danielle with the Doss House, and I've gotten to have a pretty good friend group up there. So I thought, I really like it, and let me start looking at property. So I never ever in my life expected to own a church. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I was looking at haunted houses, bed and breakfast, things like that, where I could have like an Airbnb bed and breakfast. People could come and actually stay and investigate. And it's so funny the way it happened. I literally was sitting in a bubble bath. I was having the shittiest of shit days. It was like 3:00 in the afternoon. I'm like, you know what? Fuck the world. I'm going to be in the bubble bath and this is what's happening. And I'm scrolling through Zillow, right? And a church comes up and it was not anywhere where I was looking. I was looking around like South Central PA, up like in the Poconos and like all it, like that kind of area. It's way over here. And so I'm like, hello, let me take a look at you, And as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that's mine. And it was the weirdest thought. I was talking to Sass on the phone and she was like, what? And I went and did a convention specifically so I could go look at it. And the minute I stepped foot on the land, really, I was like, oh, this is mine. I was like, this is mine. And I got immediately protective over the place because there's a cemetery graveyard that is on my property. And there are 377 graves out there.
Wow. There are pictures as we're talking.
Do what?
I'm going to show pictures.
Yes.
What town is it in? We had a question already.
It is between Mercer and Fredonia.
Okay. So, because this question came from Ohio, so I'm sure he was asking because he was hoping he was close to it.
Yep. I love you right back, Shauna. But
yeah, she's the best.
And I don't know if I sent too many pictures of the graves, but Shauna actually went with me whenever we first went to look at it, and there's so many gravestones that are busted. They're no longer attached to a grave. They're just piled up. And we found that one of the previous owners had been using a gravestone as a stepping stone. And I immediately got mad and super protective of the place, like super protective of every person out there. And we walk in. There's no men with us, okay? It's me, my daughter Sass, Shauna, and the realtor, women only. So we walk in and we're looking in the first little area you come to, and they have these shutters on the wall as decor. One of them goes boom and flings off the wall. And I'm thinking, okay, well, it could have been there a while. Maybe, the sheetrock gave way. Like in my mind, I'm rationalizing everything. until I go look at it, and there are 16 nails. I counted 16 nails. There's no way that could have come off the wall. So I'm like, okay, like, all right, I'm liking it more.
You're like, here we go. Here we go.
Anna,
I'll take it.
I had to fight my little kid instinct to be like, can I have it now? You know, like, can I give you money? So Shauna's videoing for me so I can look over everything when I get back to Oklahoma. Like the next day she texts me and she was like, you need to look at this video. So we're downstairs, we're coming up one of the stairwells, and I made a joke because there's a sign that says men's restroom and it has an arrow pointing downstairs. I was like, oh, the men got to go pee in hell. And you hear a man's voice behind us go, yep. Oh my God. And I'm like, what? And we were downstairs looking at the, it's oil heat down there. And it's a very confined space, and there's a spirit in that space, and he does not like chicks in there at all. And Sass got pushed, and she vacated the property. She did not want to come back in the property. Like, so when I told her I was going to buy it, she was like, I don't know that we're friends anymore. but she loves it now. She loves it. So that was within like the first 45 minutes that we were there.
That's
That'll do it.
Definitely a road trip. I love stuff like that. And cemeteries. Everybody knows in show. I grew up around cemeteries. I had 9 cemeteries around me, famous people and everything. So when it comes to cemeteries, I love doing those investigations. You know, and you have a cemetery there. You sold me.
Yep. Yeah. And the fact, so the building itself, those photos that you showed that said I bought a 100-year-old church. There's been 3 buildings on that location. The property has over 200 years of history. It was founded by a German family. Their last name is Haas, Haas, and there are several of them buried in that cemetery and across the street.
Oh, that's so close to my maiden name is Haak.
Oh, really?
I thought you were going to say K. I was like, I'm Dutch though.
But that is really close. That's really close.
I got a little nervous there when you were spelling it. I'm like,
yeah, it was. They had a log cabin there, and that was the Haas Church at the corners, and it was their meeting place, their church. That we've heard conflicting stories, and I don't know that anybody really knows because even the Historical Society was like, we're not really sure. We heard that it burnt down. We heard that it was torn down. And then they built a 2-story frame church there. And we do have photos of that are on the website. And the big spruce tree that's in the photos that I sent you, you can see that tree there. So that tree has been there. Well, that big massive one in the back. Yep. Where you can see the sun through it. Yeah. That tree has been there for at least 100 and probably 115 years.
Wow.
Huge.
But that church, the 2-story church, burnt down. And so the congregation in 1919 raised $50,000 to build the building that's there. So I can't imagine $50,000 in 1919, like how I would need to calculate that. But so the building that's there is right at 100 years old. There are 2 cornerstones on the church too. One says, St. John's, it was a Reformed Lutheran, and it says 1920. And then around on the other side is one that's in German, and it says 1846. So a lot of the graves out there are in German. They come straight up to the back of the church, and we get a lot of interaction. There's two spirits out in the graveyard that are very active inside the church as well. And so I always say hi to them when I get there, and I say bye to them and ask them to kind of watch over the property. And it's a very interesting place.
I seem like an altar boy.
Yeah. You what? You were an altar boy?
No. I was never an altar boy. No, no. I see things, and that's I do the spirit art. So when I see things, I draw it. Matter of fact, I got to give Shauna a picture I drew from last week.
Yeah. He's
but,
amazing.
Yeah, I see an altar boy, like a boy dressed like in that kind of outfit, and he's outside and inside. So I.
Do you want to hear something really funny?
And I get the name James.
Wow.
So We have gotten the name Wilson twice, and it may be James Wilson. It may be, you know, I'll have to look. There are a lot of children that are buried out there, but there is a very, very fun-loving child that is in the cathedral, and he interacts a lot. That cathedral has a sloped floor, so you know, we've asked repeatedly, can you roll the ball? It has happened. Shauna and them had it happen when they were investigating. A ball rolled all the way down the cathedral. I will say too, I warn people of this. There's two things. I've been to a lot of paranormal locations. I've been scratched. I've had my hair played with, you know, like all those things. Never in my life have I been to a location where you get touched as much as you do there. It's not bad. It's not malevolent. It's more like somebody going like, are you real? Like, are you real? Or a kid like tugging on your jacket.
Yeah.
It still scares the crap out of you, even if you know that it's going to be a possibility. But almost every single person that has come to investigate has gotten touched or had a jacket or the edge of their clothes pulled on. It's coolest thing. It's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
It's
I
cool.
love stuff like that.
I wonder if you're the first person to really address them.
Probably. The building had been empty for a little over 5 years when I bought it. The church itself moved down the street in a new building, and there was another I guess company church group that bought it that was going to renovate it into apartments. So it's halfway renovated, halfway not. And I to be honest, the more we interact with them and we burn a specific type of incense that's, you know, common in Catholic churches and Lutheran churches, and we play hymns. We get a lot of Latin. We get a lot of things in Latin and German in there. So we play things in German. We play things in Latin just to, what can we do to make you happy, and so on. And we get a lot of responses. So it's almost overwhelming. It's almost overwhelming sometimes.
Well, empty for 5 years, I'd be like, I can't wait to talk. I know I'd be like, I can't wait to talk to someone because I'm a talker.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is,
hey,
you guys are finally going in there with abilities to see them and actually interact with them, which a lot of them probably have not interacted with, you know, a person in maybe since they passed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now you're going in there. So maybe that's why they're touching you to see, is this really, is this real, or, you know, and the tucking of the thing could be a child saying, you know, hello, I'm here, or, you know, or maybe because you might be tucking women saying mommy, or the guy, you know what I mean? So it's a possibility, and they're friendly. So
yeah, for sure.
You know, they're just curious, and there's probably all positive energy in that place.
Yeah, we the only one that gets a little interesting when you go down there, I've just nicknamed him Benny. I don't know like what else to call him, so I just nicknamed him Benny. But in the area where those oil vats are, women are so uncomfortable in there. Men, fine, you can go in there. Anthony, you could go in there all day long, sit and chat, hear noises, have things happen, and so on. Jenny or I go in there, nope. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Really?
Like I'll knock and I'll be like, Benny, I just need to come through for a minute, you know? And I've even asked, I'm like, you know, tell me your name, you know, or what you would like me to call you, or I'm just going to call you Benny, you know? And he's never said anything. So we just call him Benny. But we do have someone that's very active in the cathedral. His name is Private Bloomer. He's buried outside. He's one of the biggest headstones out there. And his parents have the largest black spire out there, but he communicates insanely well with dowsing rods, and you can even ask like, hey, if this is Private Bloomer, you know, can you we were doing some this weekend, and Candy was working the light up LED dowsing rods, and I said, hey, you know, if this is Private Bloomer, like, could you give Candy a hug? And he will. Every single time those dowsing rods will bounce on you like this. Like it's the best feeling. It's the best thing. But he's very, very active and communicates all the time. So I always say hi to him when I get there, and I, you know, just ask him to watch over the property when I leave. We've also got the spirit of a reverend that's in there upstairs. He can be a little creepy sometimes because he's at the top of the stairs. So in the dark, you just see a man standing there. So I do the same. Yes. I walk by and I just point like this. I don't look. I'm like, I see you, but I don't want you to scare me. So I'm just going to point. But
you're like, hey, Reverend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we've got a little boy that is buried just literally right outside the door. His name is Urias, and we get insane communication with him with just cat balls. But at 10 o'clock, bedtime, you cannot get anything after 10 o'clock from him. It is so funny. I even tried this weekend. I was like, I won't tell your mom. Like, I won't tell your mom. And then I was like, yeah, talk to your mom. It's okay. 10 o'clock.
What a good boy.
I know, right? But yeah, we have a lot of interesting
personalities already. Like you already have discovered all this. How long have you owned it?
So we signed the papers in early July. Everything kept getting pushed back and back and back and back. And I've gone up there and spent, a couple weeks at a time and renovating things, getting the water back on and fixed and so on. And my dad went and spent a couple weeks up there hanging out, just exploring the place. And yeah, we've had a lot of different people in there and teams in there and doing research and trying to figure out, because I never want to be disrespectful to, their practice and so on. And, because I'm not familiar with the Lutheran faith or Lutheran churches. So, yeah. But, yeah, they're happy to tell you who they are too. They're very happy to tell you who they are. This weekend, we asked how many people were in the cathedral with us, and we got 70. Twice we got the number 70. I'm like, 70. Okay.
Was that on a Sunday?
Saturday night into Sunday, yeah.
Saturday night to Sunday, because maybe that's, that's how many people were in the parish at the time, and maybe that's just the energy just manifesting, not a spirit. Maybe it's a thing that happens every Sunday.
And I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that 100% could be. It's a very large cathedral. It's a very large cathedral. I would imagine you could easily seat 150 people in there comfortably.
Wow,
it's not a small cathedral.
And how many people you said buried there?
There are 377 graves.
377 graves. Yeah.
Wow. How far back do they go, date-wise?
The oldest one out there, the date of death is 1831.
1831.
Mm-hmm. It says like their birth date, but then the death date, it just says 1831.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a brownstone or is it just
It's white.
Like reddish brown?
No, it's white. It's actually kind of a smaller one, but I want to say it might be, I don't know if they're marble. Shauna could probably.
Granite or something or something like that.
It's a little softer because it's been worn down a little bit. So it's not like some super hard material, but I find it interesting.
Because now the stones can tell eras and times. Because I know the 1700s going into the early 1800s, they're brown because they're made out of like some sort of mud. And then
they're like reddish brown.
They're made of at that time. Growing around cemeteries, I grew up. I learn these things, and as a paranormal investigator, you go in and you learn all these different things, and it's like, wow, that's how all these things are. So stones can give away certain era of time because it's what material it's made out of.
So what I just heard was you should come up and we should go play in the graveyard and we can look at all the different stones. Because there are
road trip is what I heard. Yeah.
There are a whole bunch of different types of stones out there. And I know exactly the brown that you're talking about. A lot of the ones that are in German are like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're
almost like a burgundy, like brown.
I translate those too.
Mm-hmm.
Get them translated.
They're beautiful. They're so beautiful, and the writing is so ornate. Like they're some of my favorite ones. They're so pretty. They're so pretty.
Mm-hmm. And what are the more recent ones? There's recent ones as well, I assume.
I think the most recent, I want to say, is 1955.
Oh, that's not that recent. I was thinking there might be 70s or something, but okay, 1955.
So there's a very large cemetery that's still owned and maintained by, I guess, the county or the parish. I don't know, across the street, and it's probably 4 times the size of the one behind the church. So there are a lot of people buried over there. We have a whole row that's just children. There are a lot of children buried out there. There's also a lot of Civil War veterans buried out there. So Private Bloomer is a Civil War veteran. He passed away. I want to say maybe a few months after the war started, and he actually has one of the biggest stones out there. So I assume his family had a pretty good amount of money. It's a massive stone. It's a massive stone.
Oh, wow. Well, he deserves it.
It was a Lutheran church, so whoever was buried there was Lutheran, and the cemetery down the road might be other type of religions,
right,
or something else.
Okay.
So, and you said a lot of children buried there. Were they like from the 1918? Was it that era or 1918? Because there was
what was the first part of the question? It cut out just a little bit.
I cut out. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You said a lot of children were buried there. Is that from like 1918 they passed, or is it, because there might have been a plague on that down in that area at a certain time, and they used to bury children away from their parents, and so it could have been a plague. You just look at the dates, and you can see. Then you could do research and see in that time was there some sort of like influenza or
typhoid,
any kind, typhoid, TB or whatever. And that's how you can find out some of the information of what's goes on in that era also. And then the churches have, I don't know if this church has them, or maybe a church that's related to that church, the records of people born, baptized in the area. And, did all their commandments in that area. I did my genealogy. That's why I know all the things about churches and stuff. That's how you refer back. You always look from the death date back in somebody when it goes to genealogy. You look when they pass, and then you get more information to when they were living and to when they're born and everything. But what I'm saying, for you to find out history in that area, you can find out like the tombstones. If there's a bunch of children that passed away between, I'm just saying 1918, when there was that Spanish flu going around killing everybody, then you could say, wow, there was an era of that happening. And then you could find maybe other stuff come in from newspaper articles, and then maybe something you could find got to do with the church back at that time. And you might be able to find more stuff.
Yeah, it's like a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
We've been crazy falling down it. I did find one of the ladies at the Mercer County Historical Society. Her grandmother attended the church from the time she was a kid. So I keep missing her every time I'm up there. She was out of town this last week and so on. So I'm like, you know what? When we're supposed to talk, we'll talk. Like I just look at it that way.
Incredible. A living relative. You can't do better than that.
Yeah.
You sit down with her and you sit down with a recorder. Put the
oh my God, I'm excited for you.
And just let her tell stories. Just let her tell stories.
Just
you
let
don't
her
have to
talk.
question. Just, let her tell her kid stories from there. And that comes in so much.
I'm excited.
Wow.
I just need to go stay up there.
I'd be like going crazy with this,
Yeah. We're both so excited for you. Is it technically a graveyard? Because it's
called,
a church.
It's so weird. I don't know. I see it called a graveyard. I see it called a cemetery. So I kind of call it,
I think.
The people.
Yeah.
I'm just asking to do with the church, they call them graveyards.
I think a church is a graveyard.
Yeah. And then the big thing's usually a cemetery.
Okay.
But only if it's associated with the church. If it just happens to be next to it, that's different. But if it's a Lutheran church graveyard, it's a graveyard.
So when you look at the property, or you look at how it's listed on maps and stuff, it actually says St. John's. So it is with the church there. So
Okay.
I
thank
love
you,
that all the
Mary.
people watching are like, "Yep, a graveyard is
Yeah,
associated
they're
with."
jumping on that. Yeah. I
I'm
love it.
learning all the lingo. Like I said, never in my life would I have ever expected to own a church.
No.
Ever.
Yeah. No, Mary Beth does a lot of this kind of research, so she's really helpful to us.
Sweet.
Yes.
I'm just
We
like,
have a lot of really good people who watch.
yeah, some like this. I mean, I'd be going crazy with all online because I belong to what do you call it, the genealogy, the what do you call it, .com,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and I go back with my family with a lot of stuff with that, and I love research when it got to do with history and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and
So
that's
it
awesome.
does have its own, like on Find a Grave, it's on there and they're listed on there. And
Oh,
what's
good.
interesting is there's some stones they're pretty worn, so we don't really know who they are. So I got to figure out how to find that. But
They got to do that.
out of all of the things on Find a Grave, only one couple, they have like photos where I guess they had photos drawn of them back in the day.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
the last time I was up there before I came to Gettysburg and met you, we were having coffee, like sitting there, and these two ladies pull up and they start wandering through, so I went out there because one of the ladies was older, and there are groundhogs out there and there are holes all throughout, and so I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I cannot have this poor
Yeah.
little lady like break her ankle,
Right.
so I'm like, hey, please be careful. And come to find out, one of them was from like Arizona and the other was from Texas, I think. They had flown all the way up there to come and find, as mom-daughter trip to come find relatives and so on.
Oh,
And
wow.
they were the ones that had uploaded those photos, and they showed me where she was buried and where he was buried because they're not buried together. And so she showed me where they were and told me, like, here's my other grandpa and here's this. And so it was really cool to meet people that had family buried out there. So that's been really cool too, to talk to the people that are coming up and saying, oh yeah, this is my uncle or my great grandpa or whoever. And so that was really awesome.
You have a new family. You have like a growing new family.
I mean,
And
Dead
it's a
and living.
cemetery still being used. I mean, it's a cemetery that people that are still around can give you some information, on what happened too. So you got that. That's wild that they still. There's a lot of places like that don't have anybody left.
right.
You can't refer back to nobody, but you got live people that you can sit down and talk to. That I think that's awesome.
Ooh.
I put this comments up here because this is fascinating. I never thought of this. Use a mirror in the sun. You'd be shocked the details you can read that way. What? I've never heard that. Have you tried that, Bodie?
I've never heard of that. So I'm like,
No.
I am loving that tip.
The genealogist.
Mirror
Also,
in
you could do with those graves that are you get a big sheet of paper and
Yeah.
you put it over the grave and you just go back and forth. I mean, a lot of cemeteries don't like you doing that, but nobody can tell you not to do something in your own cemetery. and you put the sheet on, and then
I own a cemetery.
You own a cemetery.
She's going to send me a video. I'm going to forward it to you. That's amazing.
Oh, I would love that. So one of the things, I grew up doing grave rubbings and stuff like that. And I have all of the stuff there to do it. And every time I have gone outside to try, it's something happens. Like I have not been able to get a good rubbing at all, no matter what kind of charcoal, pins, it doesn't matter. And so I'm like, all right. So I had a chat. I'm like, look, when I come back up, I would like to do this because I would like to offer that to, people as artwork, because I used to do it as artwork. And
Yes.
I mean, maintaining that cemetery it's expensive. Like it's expensive. It's not just a small, it's just my backyard. Like it's almost 3 acres
300
and
yeah.
300 graves, trying to weed eat around there. And it's been really hard to find anybody that will come and do it. I'm like, let me give you money. Like, let me give you money to do this. And I get it. It's a lot of work. And so I gotta give a shout out to Unique Paranormal and Dark Hollow, because they banded together. Shauna facilitated this amazing thing and banded together, and they came out and they did all of the yard work and cleaned up a whole bunch of limbs and stuff like that for me. And I can't thank them enough. It looks beautiful.
You know how you could get that done too?
That's nice.
I was a scoutmaster for 14 years. Boy
Mhm.
Scout.
You're not going to say a goat, right?
And a goat. I put you out there. You
He's
eat
like,
all
oh.
you're the vegetarian. You'd be out there eating all the weeds and stuff like that.
Me out there. I eat grass. Yeah.
But
He thinks I do.
with the scouts, they gotta get merit badges.
Mhm.
Oh, that's a good
You go to
point.
the scouts and see if they could do that, and they could get it. Because it's a cemetery, they might be able to clean it up for you, and they could earn
It's
a
not
badge
bad
for it
idea.
with the scouts.
Okay.
If they're not
Okay.
scared to
The
death.
Boy Scouts or even the Cub Scouts and stuff, they could come
Okay.
out and they earn badges that way.
No, that's true.
You know,
See,
true.
Jenny came with all the notes, and I'm making other notes.
I'm telling you what, like he is the king of ideas, Anthony. Like
I mean-
he gives me so many ideas. He's the idea man.
I'm not upset about it. I'm not upset about it. I'm just saying, I'm not upset about
I
it.
kind of like it.
like, you get
The goat or the
buy
Cub
them a
Scouts?
pizza, you buy them a pizza pie or two, and they'll be happy, and they get you all cleaned up.
That's
I
true.
mean, I'm always down for some pizza. Always.
Yeah, you can pay
You
me.
know, we
in
need
pizza,
excuses, just
for
like
sure.
pizza.
I mean,
Good
I'm
stuff.
all-
Good
I mean,
stuff.
I can't wait to see this place. You know, we'll
You
definitely
should- you
advertise
should-
that at the end. And
This is exciting.
yeah,
We got to
So
get
maybe-
there.
next year we'll definitely see if we get a trip down to you.
So I'm having a big event in May, and you should just come.
Okay.
I
well,
love
we'll
it.
know.
He's got the calendar out. I've got the calendar out.
As long as it's not around my grandson's birthday, he's on the 16th.
Nope. First weekend of May. So I just announced last week that we're having so in the pagan community, there is Beeltena, which is the 1st of May. So we're having a Beeltena Fire Festival. It's called Phantoms and Fire. It'll be the 1st through the 3rd. It's also a full moon. So we will have a maypole. We will do all the fun things. And then
nice.
on Sunday, I am doing a free group hand fasting ceremony for anybody that would like to come get married in a graveyard.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And you got to have the
What's the
fire. That's for
festival?
sure.
What's it? What?
What's it called? The festival?
What are you calling the
Phantoms?
event?
Phantoms and Fire.
The Phantoms?
Okay. I got it. I got it.
I
So
can
I've
put my
already-
pictures there and show
I would love that. I would love that.
them. Show. And I'll probably have a couple pictures for you too.
I love it.
Yes.
And
I
will
would
you
love
be
to
at the Creep It Real?
Of course I will.
Oh, I'll be there.
Shauna told me I could not say no.
Yeah.
I want to see if she's still watching, comes on with a comment. No, I love me some Shauna and Danielle. They're such good people. They're such good people.
They're very good
Yeah.
people. And I'm dying to get to that house. So that's
Yeah, well,
awesome.
And Shauna says 2 hours away from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And it's a beautiful drive. It's a beautiful drive.
yeah.
Yeah, the first
I
time
love
I
it.
got to go to the Doss house, I was extremely ill, as in probably should have let them take me to the emergency room, kind of ill on the couch.
my
They had told me that I had a sinus infection and so on. I had an infected tooth. So it was really bad. And they had me on the couch, and it was so funny. I didn't get to meet Danielle that time, so I didn't know a lot about the Doss house. Like, they let me go in blind because if I'm going to a location, like, I don't want to know, like, what town is it in? And I keep myself from looking up anything. Like, don't tell me anything. I want to see what I get. And so I woke up several times. They just, laid me on the couch, were checking on me. And I woke up several times with my back is to the back of the couch, and there's a wall behind it. But there was a man standing in the couch with his hand kind of on my shoulder, like you would a kid, like, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. I got you. Like, and I could see him super clearly. And when I got to meet Danielle and I was describing him to her, she immediately just teared up. She was like, "That's my pap." She was like,
Yeah,
"That's my
my
pap."
grandpa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
And when she showed me a picture, I was like, "Holy shit." I was like, "Yep, that's him." Like, the whole time he was just patting me like, "It's okay. It's okay." And,
Yeah, of
things
course.
like that. So it's been awesome to go
I mean,
back when
grandpa to you.
I felt better. But yeah, he just took care of me the whole time. It was nice. There was a man that kept waking me up. I woke myself up twice, was like, leave me the fuck alone,
Yeah.
And they were like, they thought somebody was in there messing with me. And I'm like, whoever that man is, like, yeah. So you feel a little crazy in your delirium over there.
Yeah, of course. That's painful. Ouch.
That's
Not
wow.
good.
Yeah, I mean, now we got all these dates. We have these trips we have to set up for next year.
I'm ready. I'm
Mhm.
ready. That's not too far. I'm in New Jersey. I'm in the middle of New Jersey. So
Okay.
just head west.
I need to come explore New Jersey.
You do.
I'm coming up next spring before the event, and I'll be up there for a little while. Every time I've tried to plan coming and exploring up there, because I've been to New Jersey to a photo shoot and then left. Like I didn't get to explore anything. I haven't got to go to New York. I haven't got to go to Baltimore. I haven't got to go to Maine or Vermont. I haven't got to go to anywhere. Nowhere. No one lets me go anywhere.
Oh no. No. I mean, if you're a Revolutionary War, I don't know. If you're into that, this is the place to come. Like New York State, Massachusetts and New Jersey, huge Revolutionary War history and buildings, amazing buildings.
I would love that. I love Gettysburg. The bash was the first time I've ever been to Gettysburg, and so we stayed until the following Monday, and we went on Monday and just nerded around the battlefield and drove around and took photos. And man, it's so pretty. And then at the same time, when you're like standing up on, what is it, Little Round Top? Is that what they call it? When you're standing up there and you're looking down, you're like, this is a massive battlefield. Like, this is massive. It kind of blows your mind a little bit. You're like, this is massive. So,
and all the stuff that happened there. You're like, you look down there. The first time you look down, you're like, you just imagine the troops coming in, and it's
overwhelming.
Like the bombardment of the cannons, and you're like, whoa.
Yes.
And that whole field was filled with people. Man, that's overwhelming. Just to think about that,
Yeah. It's very hallowed. Like you think it's just going to be a field, right? It's just going to be some grass or like some hills. But even someone like me who is not like, I'm in the opposite of you. Like I have no degree of sensitivity. I joke that I'd go to into hell and be like, oh, it's hot here. Like no, nothing. But I felt like it was so you do feel that it's hallowed. You do feel that feeling. You get that spiritual feeling looking at it. Like even me. Definitely.
I don't have to say we went and did an investigation on Saturday night, and coming back, like, and our investigation started at like 12:30. It was so late. And so coming back, we drove through the battlefield, at night, and the lights behind that huge, gorgeous statue, of the general on the horse. And it was downright eerie. It was absolutely beautiful. There's signs all over, like no stopping on the highway. And I was like, I kind of want to stop and take a picture. But at the same time, I was like, I also feel like the boogers might get me if I get out of the car. Like, I don't want to get out of the car. But it was beautiful and downright scary at the same time, driving through there.
Yeah.
There's no one else.
I think it might be Anthony's second favorite place on earth after the Shanley Hotel. We'll have to bring you there.
Well, the I started going to Gettysburg in 2008, and I that's right after that. That's when I first see my first full. Well, I went to Peach Orchard, and that's what really got me more hooked to getting with equipment and stuff with my investigations. But I went there, and I was walking up the hill, and I seen in the distance a soldier walking off the field with the barrel of the gun facing down and the butt of his gun on, and he was like just walking off. As he walked off, there was a full moon. He just vanished.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, this is why I got to Gettysburg. This is why I got here.
On my arms.
And I started jumping up and down like, this is what I came here for. And
holy cannoli. Are we supposed to drink if someone says cannoli?
Holy cannoli. So
yes, we are. She's like a pro already.
I'm trying.
You're locked in. You're locked in.
Wow, because that's when I first started. I got to get equipment and stuff like that because I've been investigating since I was 13 years old. But all those years, I use coat hangers, had
Yeah.
dowsing rods,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean. And we use recorders and stuff like that. But after that, I just got bombarded with all the equipment and stuff like that. But yeah, that was like my first experience in Gettysburg that I see. And then we stayed at at the Jenny Wade house,
Jenny
not
Wade.
on the Farnsworth. I'm sorry, Farnsworth, and we had activity there. And I was like, that's it. I'm getting all this equipment, and I started getting people on my team, and starting because I had a team before that, but I started in 1996. I started my team, and back then it was just me, myself, and I, all three of
30
us.
years.
That was my first team. That's my team now. It's still going on.
And me.
So, yeah, and Jenny's
So now it's me, myself, and I, and her.
and Jenny, me, myself, and Jenny.
Yeah.
And so, back then people didn't follow. So when I got into like Gettysburg and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
I had equipment, and not much, because we used to buy our equipment back then in Home Depot.
Oh,
There
yeah.
was none of this ghost hunting equipment. Everything was
Or
bought
like
at Home
Radio
Depot,
Shack, the
or-
tape
Radio.
recorder.
Oh, the Radio Shack.
shack hacks and stuff like that.
That wasn't on the bingo card either. Wow.
So I
Radio
mean,
Shack.
Gettysburg was one of my first that I really wanted to go back to, and I went back twice a year in April and August. My brother's birthday, my birthday, from 2000 was it 2008 to about 2013, 2014. We went twice
Oh,
a year.
wow.
So
Oh,
and it
wow.
was, it was a great place. It was,
Yeah.
But
Okay, we're going in
Gettysburg was-
on Halloween overnight and November 1st. That whole weekend we'll be in Gettysburg.
Yeah, we're going to
Oh,
be
that
there
sounds like
on
fun.
November 1st. They got the Parajet.
October
Okay.
31st, November
So we're
1st,
gonna
and
be
then
at
we'll be there till the 2nd.
Yeah, and we're going to be on Halloween at the Hoover House.
Ooh, I love me some Pam. I love me some
Mhm.
Pam.
Sam's there. So
So
we're
do
going to be
we.
at the Hoover House. That's going to be
I
good.
love her.
So Halloween, the next day, we're going to be there the 31st
2
and
nights.
November 1st. 2 nights.
Oh, something suddenly poking me in the eyeball. That's
Coming
fun.
up. It's coming up. I mean, can you believe it? Happy fall.
Yeah.
I'm so glad it's fall. I'm not upset. I'm not mad. It was so hot
No.
here this summer. I'm so
Oh,
not mad.
Yeah. I don't do sun very well.
But
I don't either.
you have
Not
other things going on.
I feel your pain.
you,
Yeah.
you teach courses and stuff like that, and
I do.
Let's
I
talk
do.
about
About
you.
that?
Yes.
I mean, I was down talking about ghosts and stuff, but
Is this what?
oh, that would be me.
What a cool picture.
You can almost see my quotes on the background of my screen there.
I just want to make sure you got everything on the thing. I definitely want to go back to the other thing. I got,
So cool.
like I said, I was on your Facebook page, and you're like, what's all this? So,
Oh, I see spiritual artwork.
yeah, I see it down there. So,
Mine's a lot different than faces, though. Like, let me
Right,
just
I
say,
understand.
like, I'm not drawing up. I don't do any of that. But yeah,
yeah.
I get it.
spiritual artwork.
Oh.
I do a lot of automatic writing. I've done it since I was a kid. I've done a lot of artwork since I was a kid. So some of you guys will notice, like, this right here is a piece that that I did for myself a long time ago. So I do those kind of things. They're along the same lines. I do practice Buddhism, like Tibetan Buddhism, and they're along the same lines of something called a sakyant, Sakyant. And to get one of those, you spend time with a monk, and they learn about it. Sometimes it's a couple hours, sometimes it's days. Angelina Jolie has a very famous one. It's five lines, and in Tibetan Buddhism, it's almost like lines of spell work. Those things are all five of those lines are for something different, protection for your family or health or whatever. And so I design these for people, and I always love it when people send me photos. I got it tattooed on me, and like it always makes me feel special.
Cool.
And so I do things like that. And then like on the back of my hands, I take somebody's birth chart and I pull, there's something on there called a delineation graft and graft, not graft. And so I take the points and I plot them out, and then I take repeating numbers out of their birth chart and I create a huge art piece for them. Yeah, it takes a long time. It takes about an hour and a half to do just one. So,
oh, I bet.
That's great.
I bet.
I mean,
Wow.
there's
I mean,
so much to you. That's why I want to make sure everybody sees everything. We're going to get as much out of you tonight
as
we could.
I know, and God knows I have many questions. I got so many questions.
And she has her questions. She has 15 pages of questions.
I do.
Maybe we should start with her questions.
Do we need to do like rapid fire?
Yeah, I know, right? There's a reason he calls me fangirl. Well, it's I think he's making fun of me, but I don't care.
No, I'm not making fun of you because you are. Everybody comes on the show. She's like, she's like,
I read your book. I love your stuff. Well,
she's.
But that's awesome, though. That's awesome, though. Yeah. I mean, it's awesome to not know about, to have somebody that doesn't really know about somebody, and then somebody else that does, and then. I mean, I think that's awesome.
That's why we have this show, to bring interesting people to the world. So, my first question was about haunted objects and furniture, because that's something that you talk about, right? So do you have anything in your church that's haunted, do you think?
I think she has it right next to her.
Oh, she's going to show us. Good.
This is just a new one that I brought home this weekend. We'll put that there. This is Manny.
Manny.
That's a heart.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So he was unclaimed.
Oh, there's ashes in there.
Mm-hmm. So he's been unclaimed since he passed away in 2015. And so he came home with me because I felt like he should be appreciated. And so now he can be famous being on a podcast. But I felt like
Hi, Manny.
I would hate to be forgotten and left in a funeral home. I would hate that. But there's a reason that I named it the Reliquary. I have a lot of weird objects, interesting objects, haunted objects. And so most of them by next year, before May, they will start making it up there. But I have an electric chair handle from Ohio that I actually somehow bought in New Mexico. How it got to New Mexico, I don't know. That one's very interesting. A lot of people go to touch it and go, oh, like they don't even get close. They do that. I have a papoose that someone brought in to my shop and asked if I could take it, could care for it. It had found its way. I want to say that it's Choctaw, but don't quote me on that because I'll have to go look. But it had been refurbished. And when it got refurbished, it was gifted to, in tradition in a lot of different tribes are, if you have something like that, it's gifted to the next generation. Like this was yours, now it's your kids, etc. Mm-hmm. And so it was gifted to somebody just as a symbol, when they had their baby, when they were pregnant. And it lasted about 6 months. And she said, get it out of my house, get it out of my house. And it lasted about 6 months everywhere. And then people would get super depressed, really sad, etc. And so a lady came into my shop and she said, would you be interested in it? I'll bring it to you. She was like, I can't have it in my house anymore. And I don't know what else to do with it. And I was like, absolutely, absolutely. Bring it up. My dad is an interesting mix of different native tribes. And, so I grew up learning a lot of those practices. So, I messaged him and I'm like, hey, do you want to come look at this? Of course he was like, absolutely. But I don't let people touch that one at all. It's sad. I don't know what it is, but it's very, very sad. And then I have a couple of things, death photos and things like that. But I have a lot of, a lot of things that I've just have found their way to me. I was going to say that I have gathered, but that's not the right term. That have found their way to me. I travel all over the U.S. So,
wow,
there's a reason why things find you too. So, They come to you for a reason.
I am a big protector. I'm a big protector. And so things like that, I feel the need to make sure that, they're okay. That, they're okay. You're okay. I got you. You're okay. You're safe. And so yeah. So there's a reason I named it the Reliquary at St. John's.
And one of the things that you talk about is that your house and a building also has a spirit, right?
Yeah.
See, I do follow you. So, not just objects, but a place. And I wonder if that's what happened with with the church, really, that you 100%. Connected with that, 100%. Spirit of the building. Yeah.
Yeah, I was taught as a kid that every dwelling, even a detached garage, an outhouse, every structure is alive, basically. Like, you need to treat it and respect it like it's alive. That's why you can walk into a house that's dilapidated and you just get angry when you're in the house, because no one cares for the house. It's dilapidated, And so I always tell people when they start practicing paganism or witchcraft or, folk magic or whatever, I'm like, man, you gotta respect your house. Like, you need to make friends with your house first before you start doing anything else. So you have to give that place, the building itself, respect. One of the things that I do when I go to locations is I've figured that, so with the synesthesia, when I touch people, I see a color. And I realized after going to multiple different paranormal locations, if I touch the building, it's a different color. And I started, at first I was like, all right, well, most woods are a shade of blue. So is it because it's wood and then something would be orange or green? And I'm like, all right, okay, well, that's not that. And so I started realizing that, okay, each different building is a different color and has a different feel to the energy and so on. And then I also realized at night, it's different. It changes.
Oh.
So like I gave Shauna one for the Doss house, a gorgeous little printout of what it is. And so kind of what you can expect. This is the energy during the day. This is the energy at night. Like, this is the reading of the building after me putting my hand on it. So I got to go to Crescent Sanatorium this summer, and that was a trip. That was an interesting trip. Like, some of the buildings surprised me when like the chapel. You expect it to be like green, like healing, or blue for peace. Hell no. I put my hand on, I was like, oh, that's red as fuck. Like, really? What the hell? And yeah, that would surprise me.
Yeah, I know that chapel.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
No worries. So also talk to your house, you say, like talk to the building. So do you go into the church and talk to the actual church?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
When I get there, I knock on the door. I'm like, hi, church. Like, I get all excited. I'm like, hi, church. And
I love it. Yeah, people don't think of that. But I mean, if we there's a house called the Hinsdale House in New York State. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like notoriously haunted. And they brought someone in to do an exorcism on the house. And that's the first time I ever thought of it that way. I'm not saying I agree or disagree or whatever. I don't know anything about it, but just saying it that way, I was like, oh, interesting, like an exorcism on a house, not a person, kind of thing. So I think of that. I talk to my house. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, when I get home, I've just moved into this house not even a month ago, but I'll be like, hi, house, like, I missed you, like, hi. And I'll even say, like, hey, just like you would tell a dog, I'll be right back, guard the house, I'll say, I'll be back, keep an eye on the place, don't let anybody bad in here, I literally talk to the building like it's a person. So
I love it. I love
and
it.
it also,
I love it.
I'm sure you're familiar with what an egregore is. Like, you're creating an egregore.
I do.
The building has its own entity, its own being. So if you're perpetuating that and making that into something pleasant, that's much harder for somebody to come in and go, oh my God, that church is evil and it's haunted. And, so I also make sure that, you
and everyone else who comes into it has to speak kindly about it.
Yeah.
Because that's how you build that egregore, right? I mean, like we talk about that with dolls. Like, we have a house called the White Hill Mansion in New Jersey. And they had an issue with dolls they brought in that were fine. But then people started saying, oh, that doll's haunted and that doll's this. And it became that, right?
Yeah.
Because people said it was that, right?
Yeah.
It never was. There was never a haunting, but they created a haunting in it,
Yep.
kind of thing. So you have to watch your words. And you talk about that a lot in your socials and in your teachings, right? Like, watch your words.
Sorry about that.
Always watch your words.
Exactly. I mean,
Talk
because
about watching what you say.
especially with dolls.
Yeah,
I have a lot of dolls. I mean, you can see I've got literally 2 right there and several over there.
Oh, you're going to get him started with the twins. Oh, no.
I got
Not
the twins. A lot of my dolls. I love them.
I'm going to show you guys this one. No one likes this one.
Why?
I like this one, but it is a little creepy. This is JoJo. And when I got JoJo in Gettysburg, and I was on a live stream, and I had brought a ton of bracelets, and we were like, I'm talking on the live stream, and I have JoJo behind me and a cat ball going. This thing went off the entire time. So yeah, this is JoJo.
JoJo. Okay.
JoJo is a fairy.
Did you name it? Okay.
We had Vox on, Ghost Tube Vox, and we kept getting the name JoJo. So I'm like, okay, JoJo it is. Nobody likes it though. I do. I mean, we have some words sometimes, but JoJo usually wins because JoJo's an interesting doll.
Oh my gosh. We were talking about how houses have a spirit, like Hinsdale. That the house
you could feel
itself.
something from that doll. That doll, you could feel something. I mean, it was like my face felt burning all of a sudden.
Really?
Yeah, it was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And you couldn't stop staring at the face.
Yep. And the eyes on that doll, they're very interesting. I originally stopped at the ladies' booth for a completely different doll. And when I stopped, I was like, ooh, I love this doll. And then I was like, oh, it's not my doll. Like, that was my second thought. And I was like, oh, like, because I beelined it over there because I wanted that doll.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's not my doll.
But no.
It ended up being Sass's doll. Sass does not like dolls, but went home with that doll. So I bought this other doll in this gorgeous green dress and so on. And then I could not stop looking at that one. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'll take the fairy too. And she was like, really? She was like, no one likes that doll. I do. And I'm like, well, apparently it's mine and it's going home with me. So when I showed Sass, she was like, I'm glad I'm not riding in the car with you. I'm like, be nice.
Like, I mean, people get freaked out. I don't, but people get freaked out by dolls. Yeah, for sure.
I love dolls.
I feel like she would love the convent. Do you know that place? It's in New Jersey. She has like this amazing collection of haunted objects there. If you come, we'll bring you there.
It's a date.
I love it.
I have a ton of dolls in the church.
The convent, yeah.
You would love this woman and this place both.
Tattoo place.
Who owns it?
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Because I absolutely hate tattoos.
Yeah, I know. I'm not too crazy about myself, you know.
I have yet to get my first one, but it'll happen.
That's a rarity. You should be proud of that. That's a rarity.
Why? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a good thing, or I just feel like when it comes, it'll come, you know?
I mean,
my wife got
like
her first tattoo on her ankle. She never wanted a tattoo because she did it because one of her friends passed, and she felt obligated to honor her friend. So she got like this thing with little cat paws with a lady she had cats and everything. And so my wife finally got hers. It's on her ankle. And to this day, she loves the thing, you know, and it's the only tattoo she has. And I think it's going to be the only tattoo she ever get again. But she had to get it just to honor this woman.
That's so sweet, though.
You know?
That's so sweet.
But that's what I mean. Is someday I'll be moved to it. It'll say, "Forget about it." No, I'm kidding.
Forget about it. Have a cannoli.
In honor of you.
I'm gonna have a tattoo of a cannoli with wings on my arm.
Look at me with all my questions. I'm like, let's talk. We can't like run out of time before we talk about the synesthesia and being a synesthete, because I have a question that you probably get all the time, but to me it's a little bit different. Do you see it with animals? You touch an animal and that as well, not just people.
So I have a couple forms of synesthesia. So I have one of the most common. Synesthesia is not, I think synesthesia is more common than people think it is. They think that only 3% of the population have it. I think it's a lot more just in talking to people, and they're like, oh no, because there are tons of forms, but it's basically where the wires in your brain get crossed. So instead of, me just hearing your voice, I also see, like I'm wearing bifocals, the color yellow. Like I see yellow when you talk. And it's great. And it also sucks because once I talk to somebody for a bit and we have been talking about just random stuff or whatever, I can tell when you're lying. I can tell when you're lying. I can tell when you're sick. I can tell when, like, it's weird. Like my dad went through chemotherapy. He had cancer in a lymph node, and his whole voice changed. It used to be my entire life, his voice was blue, and now it's indigo. And the first time I heard his voice after that, I was like, oh, like it shocked me because I'm like, I almost cried. I was like, what happened to your voice, Dad?
Well, yeah.
But so I have chromesthesia, which is hearing something but seeing a color. And then I also have tactile visual, which is one of the rarer forms. And that's when you touch something, you see a color. So what's really funny is when I pick this up, it's brown. It's brown.
Huh.
Like I see the color brown. It's the weirdest thing. But most fur is a shade of blue. Wood is a shade of blue. Metal baseball bats are bright, obscene red orange, but wooden baseball bats are like a mustard yellow, like when the ball hits the bat. So like I can tell those, but so with people, it's interesting because if I were to just meet you and shake your hand, like I would see a color, but if I hold your hand for a minute, then I start to see like layers of color like that. So the spiritual artwork you see on like my website and so on, where it's, these great, crazy, bright things. I use oil pastels to kind of get the colors right. But in doing them, I found that what I see coincides with the psyche. So there's layers to the psyche, just like there's layers of the aura, and they line up, and it's crazy. I've drawn a lot of really famous, interesting people, and it's awesome. It wears me out, but it's awesome. So
yeah, but that makes sense. I mean, no person would be one solid color, right? Like, I mean, people are not like that.
Right.
I mean, that's just intuitive to me that people would have all kinds of layers of, yeah.
It is interesting too. I used to do jury consulting. I have a friend who's an attorney, and he would call me and be like, hey, I need your help with this. And so I came up with a list of questions because I've studied color theory extensively. Seeing a color, I'm like, well, why is that person's voice gray? Why is that person's voice purple? Like, what does that tell me about them? And so by seeing what color their voice is, and then if I can physically touch their hand, I mean, I can peg somebody, man. Like I see you, but I came up with the most just off the wall, easy questions to get an idea of what your voice color is when you're not trying to give an answer you think somebody wants to hear. Because like if I were to ask you, like, what do you think about, the death penalty or something, you're going to be like, okay, how am I going to, I'm going to see the wheels turning, like, well, let me do my words carefully. But if I ask what your favorite cereal was as a kid, that's very disarming. So he used to ask, like, what was your favorite cereal as a kid? What was your favorite cartoon? What's your favorite movie? And if you could have any car in the world, doesn't matter what would it be? And then what's your favorite color? And I would watch their voices. I would sit there and I would write notes. And most of the time I would close my eyes and I would make notes. And
so they're like control questions.
Yep.
Right.
Wow.
And then you're able to tell when there's a difference. Right. That's so cool.
I'm going to watch what I say around you. I can imagine what colors come out of me.
Here.
So yeah, I mean, there are a couple of colors that I have learned are so like a gray poupon yellow is a I don't talk to that person. That's a no color.
Really?
And then a like olive kind of baby food green color, also a no. One is very narcissistic, and one is somebody that values power over other people. And so if I see somebody with that voice, I'm happy to introduce myself, and then we're not friends. We're not friends.
I'm glad I don't have those colors because you wouldn't be on the show then tonight.
No, yours is like a really deep wine color. There's one of my favorite wines here. There's a place called Route 66, and they have a blackberry wine, and it's this gorgeous, like purpley red velvet color. That's what color you're wearing.
Is that good?
I mean, I like people with that color voice.
Okay.
Evidently, I do too. So I'm not a mustard yellow. No, I'm kidding.
No, you're like bright, like sunshine canary yellow. It kind of fluctuates slightly, but it's like sunshine bright. Like when you think of the color yellow, that's what color your voice is like. It's yellow.
I love yellow. I love it. Half my house is yellow. So maybe
I like red wine. So, hey, that's cool.
And you like wine? No.
It's usually funny when I tell somebody, oh, your voice is this color. They usually say about 90% of the time, oh, that's my favorite color.
Yeah, that's so funny. Really. Because it is. Yeah, and I am the orange and yellow person. So that, like, how did blue come to you? Is that your voice when you do hear blue when you speak?
You know what's funny? I didn't even pay attention to my voice until somebody asked me a question on a video one time, because I was saying something about what color someone's voice was, like 2022, I think it was early 2022. And somebody was like, what color is your voice? And I was like, I don't know. Because when I talk, I don't see it. Like I don't see it. You talk, I can see it, but when I talk, I don't see it. And so I had to go back and listen to my own voice on a recording, which I absolutely hate to do.
Everyone does.
And it's like a purple. It's like a weird fluctuating purple color. And that used to be my favorite color. That, like, from the time I was little up to probably, I don't know, 2015, it was my favorite color. Really? So that was interesting. I was like, holy shit, my voice is purple. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Okay. And then
you never knew.
Yeah. Blue is my favorite color, obviously, but but yeah, it was my favorite color for almost ever. Not forever, but almost ever. So yeah.
Because red is my favorite color.
Red is?
It's always red. It's been my favorite color. And you're saying I got like a dark red, pretty much.
So I find when people have really bright voices, they like to be, I'm trying to think of the right word. They're very honest. They're very upfront. They're very excited. Like they're like little birds. You know what I mean? Their voice is super bright and in your face, and they want to know all the information. Usually they have a little bit of like OCD, ADHD, like they're just blah, blah, blah. Right. People that have
like 15 pages of questions, you mean? No,
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. But it goes for any color. Like the brighter the voice, the more energy that person brings. But the darker the voice, like yours, how I said, it's like that gorgeous, like wine color. The darker the voice, there's a lot there. Usually that tells me that you've seen some shit. A lot of shit that you don't tell people. The darker the voice also, there's a lot of power there, a lot of personal power that sits under the surface that you don't like to show people, because either people have taken advantage of that, or, maybe they know how to poke the bear and you can demolish the whole world, like things like that. But I also have found, I think that I always had a little bit of synesthesia, because in high school and junior high I played the trumpet, and so I always could see when the notes were wrong. So I almost always had perfect pitch because I could see when it was wrong. And I tried to explain that to my band director. He's like, "How are you always like almost perfect?" And I'm like, "Well, I can see it." And he kind of would, look at me like I was insane. But when I got out of high school in 95, we were on a family vacation. I got this really horrible headache and I got really sick. My mom drove me back to Tulsa. We went to hospital, and my fever was like almost 105, and I had meningitis, and they didn't know what kind. So they threw everything at it. And I died in the ER. They had to bring me back, and then they put me in a medical coma. And 2 days later in ICU, I woke up out of the coma long enough to hit the button because my vein was collapsing. and they were surprised because like nobody's supposed to be in that room. And they came in, and all I remember is I told them I was going to yank it out of my arm if they didn't come in there. And then I looked at the nurse. I was like, "Oh, you're tall," and that's all I remember. And so they had to bring me back again. And after that, when they brought me out of that coma, the neurologist patted my arm, and all I remember was like green, 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 like it was super bright. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, it's gotten, I'm going to say worse. I'm going to say it that way on purpose, worse and worse and worse, because I can't go to concerts. I can, but I have to wear like earplugs upon earplugs upon earplugs. And then I have to leave about halfway through. I can make it about halfway. I went to Stevie Nicks in New Orleans, and I had to leave before halftime. And it is what it is. You know, I got to see Stevie Nicks in New Orleans. I'm excited about that. But
that's pretty awesome.
I can't. And so I can't be around loud stuff for too long because it's like it hurts. It gets to the point it hurts. I can't do it. But one thing I found is that I can tell by the color, the texture of someone's voice, if they've died, if they've had a near-death experience. I can every single time.
Really?
Every single time. I'm like,
you're doing that to me.
Watching you.
You're doing that to me. Wow. And Sean is like me right now. She got a lot to say. She said she practices what she preaches. Now she just absolutely is just enamored with you, which I can see why. Absolutely.
I pay her.
She is such a good person. She really is.
Yeah, she's the one that introduced me to you. Like pretty much, it's like, you got to go over there. You got to get her. You got to get her on your show.
Like,
yeah. And I'm glad you did.
Yeah, don't call me fangirl.
You on the show how last week. I'm glad you guys. Glad I met both of you.
I love it. Well, where was I? Getting you food? Like where I was with you. I must have been like
you were picking up the girl passed out on the floor.
I was off running errands. I have a strange question about this color. You know, being this synesthesia. Does it happen with the dead as well when they talk? So do we lose our colors? Like, has anyone ever asked you that? Like,
EVPs. That'd be interesting.
They're just gray. They're just gray. Like obviously, Vox or whatever, it has its little color, the electronic or whatever. But because I do mediumship, work and so on. And the only way I can explain it to people, it's like hearing it back here. You don't actually hear it in your ear. It's back here in your brain. It's always like a gray, silver gray color. I don't know how to explain it. Okay. But almost like the burnished metal color, but it's always that color. Now, every now and then I'll be like, why is your grandma pink? And somebody be like, oh my God, there's her favorite color, or, something like that. But when it comes to the clairaudience, it's always like a silver gray. Always.
Oh, interesting. Wow. But it's a color. So it's still there.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But it's a different cross. Like you said, it's crossed wires, sort of, right? Yeah. And like, just to say it simply, like it's a cross, but it's a different cross wire.
Mm-hmm. It's the easiest way to explain synesthesia. Just your wires are crossed. Yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, my broken brain. Yeah. Let's talk about broken brain.
I know. I
know about wires crossing.
Those are the best kind. Yeah.
But people get uneasy sometimes, about certain subjects. And so it's easier to joke about it. Like I had a couple mini strokes in 2021. And so every now and then I have one eye that does this weird shit. And so I'm always like, it's just stroke eye. Just let's laugh and go on, because when you joke about it, it makes people less like, oh God, what's wrong with her eye? So I'm like, just stroke eye. It's all right. So.
But can you tell somebody if somebody's sick or something, or getting sick?
What?
From their voice, can you tell somebody that's sick?
Mm-hmm.
That's sick and stuff too. Yeah.
Your voice gets smaller. Like when you don't feel good, your voice gets smaller. The color gets smaller. More compact. So I'll be like, all right, what's up? I can see you don't feel good. Like what's going on? So yeah, you can't fib. You can't hide it from me. Like if I get to know you really well, it's really, really obvious.
Yeah. That's interesting. Wow.
Wow.
Good. So
Yeah.
you're very
Wow.
colorful.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to be. I try to be colorful.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to talk to you about.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. Like obviously with my
it
book,
has a
right?
lot going
I know,
on.
and I'm
That's really
looking at our
cool.
20-minute thing, so I'm like, what were the
Oh
most important?
no!
Um,
We skipped a couple
no, it's
questions.
true. So
Yeah, we
before,
don't
while
we
I'm
don't have that
looking,
much
Adam
time.
did have a question, and our audience,
Right, yeah.
he asked about your books. And I can go back, but he asked about what you're writing. Like, was there one that really sticks out to you as like this was my
Oh, how can they get your books and stuff like that too?
yeah,
So,
or your articles or whatever, like. But I know what he means. Like, was there one that sticks out? And like, what's the first one you would tell somebody to read? Or
so I would tell you to read this one, but I also would tell you to forgive the editing mistakes. I hired an editor and they did not do a great job. This was the first book I wrote, and I started it in 1996. It's called The Vampire Strain, and it took me forever to finish it. It's funny. And it's the last book that my mom read before she passed away. And I promised her I'd write a sequel, and I haven't.
oh,
Don't listen, Mom!
and doesn't she know it? You're like, sorry.
But yeah. So all my books
Yeah.
are under MD Weems. You can find them under the Blue Bodie as well. But yeah, that one.
I love
I
it.
think I'm the most proud of that one because it took me forever to write it.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like the rest just fly out, like fly off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
There's a couple. The two that I wrote that are on Amazon that during COVID. One is called Rolling into Armageddon, and it's short stories and poetry. A lot of that is about synesthesia, and then Whiskey and Cornflakes. A lot of that is about synesthesia as well. So there's a lot of things about songs, different songs, like how they look and so on and so forth.
Whiskey and cornflakes. I like that. I remember
I
we
tried to
go
think of the
camping. We used to have beer and cornflakes.
depressing breakfast I could
Really?
think of. I wanted it to be whiskey and Pop-Tarts, but Pop-Tarts is like copyrighted, so I couldn't use. So I'm like, whiskey and cornflakes, like that's a depressing
Really?
breakfast right there.
Oh. But cornflakes is okay. Yeah, I guess because it's a generic kind of thing.
Yep.
Cornflakes. Okay.
Yep.
Been around forever.
Cornflakes. I like
Um,
cornflakes.
I know, so do I. So my next question is, what is a dream walker? And what's the difference? Here's my personal question. What's the difference between dream walking and, like projection into a dream?
So dream walking is like, let's say you're asleep and I'm asleep and we're friends and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to Jenny's dream. I can actively in my dream transfer myself into your dream, and we can go to Niagara Falls, or we can go wherever. So it has good and it also has bad, because it can. I mean, think about it. If you're asleep, you're kind of open. So somebody that's very talented as a dream walker can go in and cause a lot of problems. Some people that are dream walkers, it manifests as a kid. Like you go to school and you tell your best friend, oh my God, I had a dream that we went camping or we did this. And the friend's like, oh my God, I had that dream too. And it starts to happen a lot and so on. So it's different than lucid dreaming, because you're lucid dreaming but actively in someone else's dream, able to go in and out of someone else's dream. So technically it's the same as projecting into someone's dream, but astral projection is different. So astral projection is being able to just kind of leave your body. Like I always tell people, astral projection and astral travel are two different things, where astral projection is like, I'm going to leave my body and go walk around the kitchen, go walk around my neighborhood. Right. Whereas astral travel is leaving and going to the astral plane. But dream walking is very interesting. And unfortunately, in my line of work, I've met a lot of unscrupulous people that feel that it's okay to do that. And I have to point out, I'm like, is it okay for somebody to do that to you or to your mom, or your dad or your sister? Like, would that be cool if they just did that to them, And if the answer is no, then you shouldn't be doing it to other people. So,
yeah. Mm-hmm. So Al, this is Al, our friend Al, the author and podcaster, Al Cooley in Ohio. He said, I heard that's dangerous. I'm not sure if he's talking about astral travel or dream walking. Is either one?
All of it can be. Yeah. I mean, because let's say that I don't know you, and I don't know that you're a dream walker. Okay. Well, I'm a dream walker and maybe I'm a very unscrupulous one. And I'm like, oh, I didn't like what she said about this. So I'm going to go into her dream. Well, I don't know that maybe you really know your shit. Like you could cause a lot of problems, you know, for me,
Sure.
I could, like, it can cause a lot of problems. And with astral projection, I mean, you can get out and have a problem getting back in. With astral travel, you can go too far. You can go too far. Thanks to Broken Brain, and at the risk of sounding crazy, but I tell my followers, like, I teach people when I teach astral projection, you need a tether. You need something that helps you travel there. So like mine is a black Pegasus. So like I have one tattooed on my arm and I keep one beside my bed. And so you train yourself that like, this is how I'm getting home. So like maybe you love trains. Maybe your dad was, you know, worked in at the rail yard and you love trains and you associate that with safety because it was your dad. So take a train to the astral and you always know you can get back. But, I always tell people, I'm like, man, you can't get too far. Like you put a little black horse beside your bed and you need me, I'll come get you. So I have people all the time that are like, you were in my dream last night. You pulled me. And I'm like, well, what the fuck were you doing way out there? Why'd you have to call me? You know, but it's been nice too. I mean, even if somebody's just having a bad dream and, you know, they have that beside their bed, if it helps them to sleep better, then, you know, I feel like that's a win-win.
Right. No, that makes sense. Is it like a practice, like anything else? Like little at a time?
The more you do it, the stronger you get, you know, the easier it is and so on. A lot of times I tell people, every single person is going to astral travel once in your life, whether it's because of a high fever or maybe you did some shrooms or, you know, whatever, like you're going to go. But when you go on purpose all the time, I mean, there are beings there and they start to notice like, why is that person back here? And I tell people it's like a really screwed up version of Monsters, Inc., you know, in that they will try to do what they can to get whatever emotion from you to fuel them going forward. But I mean, we drop cannolis.
Yeah. Cannoli. Hey.
Yeah, we did.
Hey, cannoli. Good
For
stuff.
For the new people that are in the audience, when we say cannolis, it's a drinking. You're supposed to take a drink. That's
we ever on drinking game.
A little drinking game.
I love it. I'm not arguing at all.
Like when she says this is going to sound a little bit crazy, we look at her like, no, probably not. Not in this show. It's not.
I know about crazy.
I've been astral traveling for about 30 years.
Wow.
For about 30 years. So I have learned to either have on like rain, like thunderstorms, or frequencies like the solfeggio frequency, so I don't travel, so I can actually sleep. So it sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
I can imagine. I can imagine it just happened to you and like, okay, I want to sleep. And it does. I mean, your body is in a sleep state, but your mind is still not. So you wake up and it's like you didn't sleep.
Right.
Your body is rested, but your mind isn't. So it's just as bad. You know?
And I find that people that are neurospicy, I have epilepsy because of the meningitis. I find that people that are neurospicy, epileptics travel more nights than they actually sleep. People that are on the spectrum, people that have ADHD, people that have, you know, any of the things that make them neurospicy, they travel a lot. And kids that have it usually have night terrors, you know, because they've pinged the interest of something over there that wants to know why they're coming over there all the time. And so I do a lot of work with kids. Helping them take control of the situation, because I mean, that's a scary thing. You got something standing at the foot of your bed every night. You know, that's a scary thing for a kid.
Yeah.
So
I like working with kids, you know, even with the paranormal stuff, to help them out as much as we can.
He's so good with them.
But
but
when you go into these states, so I know because I have sleep apnea, and I use the machine and everything, and when they took that test on me, they said I had like 100 somewhat dreams in a night, but I wake up the next day, I don't remember any of them.
Oh, I remember all my dreams.
Okay, but when you go into your, you know, travels, do you come back and you remember everything?
Most of the time, yeah. Yeah, I will voice record it on my phone. I have like, the voice recorder, I'll voice record
Yeah,
it.
I would say, yeah,
Um,
that's
and,
very good.
and sometimes it's weird, I'll just see random things. And so then it's like a logic puzzle. Like I got to write it down and then look at, all right, what's the meaning of this and this and this and this and this. But there's sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, why am I here? Like, why am I here? I was just here. Why am I here? Like it can be
Yeah.
really disorienting. Like it can be really disorienting.
Wow.
And
So
can you go through this without even realizing you're doing it? Because I know I have some kinds these fantastic dreams, and I wake up and I'm like, whoa, it's so realistic.
mhm,
Is that maybe a form of that?
mhm. If you have sleep apnea, then I would bet you probably travel a lot. I would bet you probably
Yeah.
travel a lot. The way I tell people that you can tell, traveling, astral traveling versus just dreaming is that it's night and day vivid. So like, how my camera on here is a little more muted and so on, where y'all's is really bright because apparently my camera's being a jerk tonight. That's the difference. So how I'm seeing you and how I'm seeing Jenny, y'all are bright and crisp, right? Where I'm a little more muted. So my camera would be what you see in a dream, whereas you two would be what you see astral traveling. So you're going to remember, she had on this crazy, gorgeous, bright shirt and the blue couch behind her and so on. And then you have the forget about it, and all the pieces, like they're very crisp and bright. So you're going to remember those really, really deeply, almost like they're burned into your retinas. But the other way that you're going to know if you're traveling versus just dreaming is that even if you remember what it is you saw over there, you're still going to be exhausted in the morning. You might have been in bed, slept 9 hours straight, like great sleep, but you're like, man, my brain is still exhausted. Like, why can't I focus today? Because you weren't here. Like you're out gallivanting around the astral. And
I'm always
so
waking up tired. It's like I don't understand.
mhm.
Yeah. So
try
maybe, I don't know.
Try
I gotta,
sleeping to thunderstorms, like put some thunderstorms on in the background. For
yeah.
some reason, I don't know what color of noise, the pink noise or green noise or whatever. That helps. I sleep to thunderstorms a lot. And then I have to stop, especially during the spring and the fall. Cause then I'm like, you're not going to wake up with the tornado sirens, bitch. Like maybe don't do that right now. But, the solfeggio frequencies help as well. Listening to those on YouTube or just any of those.
Because with my machine, I sleep much better too.
Yeah.
Because it opens my nasal and everything else.
Yeah.
But I still, throughout the
And
night,
it's
I
not
got these
safe
vivid
if you don't
dreams.
use that,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not
What?
safe for you not to use that, right? Like it's not. You stop
What?
breathing. Don't do that.
What,
You don't want to be a ghost.
I do it. I mean, I go times. Well, when we went to the Shanley, I didn't use it that night.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't always use it, but majority of the time I do. Majority of the time, I maybe like once or twice a month. I don't, but
yeah.
But
but
you're
We
used
want
to
you
the
to be
noise of
healthy.
it. Like you just drown the noise out because you've obviously had it for a while. So you're used to the noise. So probably at first you slept great because you weren't used to the noise, and that broke up the aspect of your brain that's going to travel. Well, now that's assimilated into your brain. Your brain just goes, oh, that's just the machine. Let's go over here. And so yeah, I would try some frequencies and some rain, whatever.
I definitely will. I will.
While we're on the subject of dreams,
This is a great show.
yeah, really. Yeah. This doesn't really have to do with it, but what about, you're a medium, right? And a psychic. What about when the dead visit you in your dream? Do they visit us in dreams?
They do. I make sure that they can't. I make sure that they can't. I have crystals around my bed. I have 4 pieces of selenite. You guys, anybody listening, you're welcome. Here's a cheat. Okay. If you have mediumship abilities, you have medium, things are visiting you in your sleep. That's, kind of not cool. Like, unless you are inviting them in, like, hey, I really want to talk to my grandpa, whatever. But I have a piece of selenite underneath my bed, under each thing. I have a big piece of black tourmaline in the middle. And then I have Dalmatian jasper, amethyst, and blue apatite beside my bed. But I created a grid under my bed that is a complete space you're not allowed in there. Like I have my pillows are warded, like things like that. So, because otherwise they bombard, and I get it. I do. Nobody's been able to see you or hear you for however long. But if I travel and I go to a hotel or something like that, they usually wake me up. Like if it's a haunted place at the church, there's been a lot of times I've woke up and been like, dude, this is my bedroom. Get out. Like, get out. Like I'm sleeping, you know. I'm not a good morning person. I'm not a good getting woke up in the middle of the night person. But when I'm there, there's something that wakes me up every single morning at like 7:15. Every single morning. Wow. We can be up till 3 or 4 investigating. 7:15, I'm up and I want to go have coffee. And I'm like, no, like I'm gonna go back to bed. So
that's interesting.
Every single morning.
I love it. I feel like we need 4 hours with you because I still have 5 pages of questions. Shoot, we got 5 minutes. 4 minutes.
We only got 5 minutes left in the show.
Oh, you're gonna have to come back. You're gonna have to come back for 100th episode. Oh,
that would be awesome. Yeah. I wonder if you calculated it out, like how long it would be before there was 100th episode.
Well, it's every week, so we can do it.
Show every week, so it'll be like this time next year.
Okay. Yeah.
You might have 15 pages of different questions next year.
But you have like 100 pages. Plus.
I do. I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, you have like a encyclopedia.
I have a lot of questions in general.
I mean, this is only
nailed me pretty well there.
15 questions.
I love it. Imagine, like, why is this? Yeah. Why is that? It's my life all day.
Yeah, now times 15 by 100.
I want to know why. Yeah, well, and I have some offbeat ones for you next time.
I mean, the questions were great, Jenny. You did a good job with the questions tonight.
Thanks, Anthony.
I mean, the show's coming to an end, which I hate.
Yeah, I mean, so at this point, we need to know how to get in touch with you, how to find you, and we're going to make sure we put that on our site.
So you can find me at thebluebodie.com. I'm on all the socials. TikTok is the main one I'm at, and then at got a weird accent there. And then YouTube is the other one. I'm live multiple times a week. I'm on all the other socials too. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, X, Pinterest, Patreon, all the things. But TikTok and YouTube are my main ones. And you can book appointments. You can get tickets to events on my website. I know there are a lot of scammers, so I tell people, like, if you're not buying a ticket through my event, that's not me. Just so you know.
Oh,
not me.
Good advice.
It doesn't go through thebluebodie.com. Don't do it. So
it's the worst that we have to even say that, you know?
It is.
It is. But yeah, I do follow you. TikTok is so good. Your TikToks are so great.
Aw, thank you.
I enjoy them. It's like we're having coffee together, but you don't know me.
I need to do more coffee time.
My friend, we're having coffee. But that's the style. That's the style of her TikToks. You feel like you're having coffee with a friend.
That's awesome.
Good.
Yeah, that makes me I should start getting on some of those other stuff.
I love it. We're going to put all that on our site so people can find you, because we had a lot of people here tonight.
A lot of people, really.
Lovely. I agree that the time went too fast.
Yeah,
definitely. And we appreciate everybody being here as always. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Now you have a new TikTok follower already there. Now you can have coffee with her.
You got a bunch. That's awesome. That's very cool. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah.
We got to end the show.
We have like a minute. Yeah. What's next for you? What's next? Like, what's coming up next?
Nothing.
Where are you going?
May. Talk about May.
Oh, so in May, I have a big event at the Reliquary at St. John's, Phantoms and Fire. It'll be a 3-day paranormal vendor event. Vendor applications are open. If you guys would like to come, there'll be some celebrities there. You can come and investigate with Jason Voorhees. And there are 2 people named Voorhees in the cemetery. So I thought that was cool. But
Dutch name.
If you guys would like to come,
so I can talk to them.
Yeah.
Yes. So what I heard,
hockey mask on the tombstone, is there?
No,
Okay.
not yet.
So May 1st through 3rd, you said?
May 1st through 3rd.
Actually on the holiday. Good. Cool.
Yep.
On the Sabbath. Yes.
But yeah, I am off for the winter. My son and daughter-in-law are having their first baby in December, and so
Awesome.
I am going to be going to smooch on the grandbaby, and then
Yes.
the next thing will be the Tucson Gym Show in January. So
I love it. Nothing better than that.
I love grandchildren. I got
Anthony's
to watch
got a
mine 5 days a week.
grandson.
Yeah.
Yeah. My daughter just got married in January, so hopefully I'm next.
Yeah.
If you're watching, Julia, hopefully I'm next.
no
It was
pressure.
such a pleasure.
No pressure.
A pleasure. Yeah, exactly. No, but pressure.
We're at
It
the
was such a
2-hour mark.
pleasure. I know, but let me tell her, what a pleasure to meet you in person.
Aw.
Like not in person, but on the screen. And thank you for being here. It was an honor to have you for our 50th episode.
It was great meeting you.
Truly,
At Gettysburg, and this is a great show.
I've had so much fun. I can't believe that was 2 hours.
I know.
I got thank Shauna and Danielle for sending me over to your table.
I love me some Shauna and Daniel.
I
love me some them.
Yeah, great people.
They're wonderful.
I mean,
we agree.
Yeah, we had a great show with them also, and now a great show with you. Now how are we gonna top the show? This is gonna be one of those shows.
I know.
Well, we're going. Oh well, we're 2 hours in a minute. We're gonna be.
We're not allowed to,
I'm gonna
but
get yelled at.
come after us.
I want to. So I got to end the show sometime. So I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. We had a fantastic night. We had a lot of people in the audience. Thank you for everybody who came in, all the new people and everything. I hope you guys come back next week. If you guys like the show, hit some hearts and likes on the side there. Sign up for Earth Radio. Subscribe to the channel. And I just got to say, thank you, Madam Blue here. We had a great show, and I just want to tell everybody that if you're going to go out there and investigate, you got to be safe out there because you want to look for ghosts. You don't want to be a ghost. Hey, forget about it. Ciao, familia. Good night, everybody.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.
Hey, how you doing?